Yes, boys, hope we are all well. Join me again on the channel, another grow bag entry, and today we've got a full day of eating. So Sunday morning, it is currently 8:25 a.m. Bit of a lie-in because we were off planning again last night, me and Cameron. Probably going to be the last meal we both get together before he starts competition prep for the later shows this year. So we had High Burger, which actually will pop up in the screen here. Let me see your spinner. Nice. That won't be too hard to do on CapCut. But yeah, rest day today. Sadly, no burgers and fries. Up like 0.4 pounds this morning, and the only reason I bring that up is because I went to bed really full. You know, my stomach it seems really sensitive at the minute. Any sort of off-plan food I'm having is not sitting amazingly. It's not like I'm in agony stomach cramping, but I can just feel like a bit like, oh well, that wasn't a usual meal, and I wasn't really hungry for anything when we came home, or when I came home. So I just had like chicken and veg and whey and berries, like 50 grams of berries, 150 grams of veg to hit my target of 300 a day, which is something I always adhere to when I'm eating off plan, just to make sure bowel movements, digestion is as good as possible. You know, go figure, keeping digestion as good as possible, and he gets bad digestion. But yeah, I went to bed after that and I was full as anything, and I had that right before bed. So the fact I'm only up 0.4 is kind of crazy. It shows I would have dropped after that off-plan meal anyway. But, you know, midsection was pretty damn tight this morning, so I'm not worried at all. We woke up at 189.2 pounds. But without further ado, we have got meal one, the infamous yogurt bowl for meal number one. So in this, we have 350 grams of Fage 0%, 15 grams of whey, 100 grams of berries mixed between blueberries and raspberries. You know, I vary my berries pretty often. Now, I'll normally do 50-50 a meal. If I have raspberries in the house, just to vary the micronutrient profile, vary the fibre intake. You know, it's a good little habit to get into, rather than solely doing blueberries or raspberries every single meal, and not exposing yourself to that varied sort of diet. You know, these things are good for your gut microbiome. Then we've got 10 grams of coconut almond butter. You know, you guys know I love that stuff. Cinnamon, and 2.5 grams of salt mixed in. So with my salt intake in the morning, I will get the engineered muscle scales using the salt sort of sector, and weighing out 9 grams of pink and 3 grams of low salt per day. And I'll mix that in the double espresso cup and just divide that evenly throughout my meals on the day. And yeah, that is meal number one. We've got chocolate explosion whey from Perform. I'll actually give you guys a dedicated view to the meal. It's very, very aesthetic. But yes, chocolate explosion whey from Perform. Thank you very much to Stuart, who hooked me up with that. Done a little black market trade deal. 300 grams TWP Gold Bar for 300 grams Perform Explosion. Now, I did have this last night with my whey and berries. It's just another chocolate flavour, lads. There's no mini egg taste off it at all. And I was talking to Caleb in the gym. Shout out Caleb if you're watching as well. And he said chocolate, whey and yogurt goes really well, which I didn't think it would, but he is also the most food focused man on the planet, and doesn't really have taste buds. So we will see. I'll actually have a little bite. Okay, it's pretty good, to be fair. It's like eating a healthy chocolate mousse. But gonna get this meal in, probably bring you guys for a coffee later on. Probably stop at Nero, since it is a Sunday and that'll be the only shop open. Cardio done as normal this morning with an espresso. Before that, we had the active double espresso pod. If you really want to know, Pindar L-carnitine, which is currently 500 milligrams a day. And yeah, we are ready for a good day of rest day eats. Boys, join me again for meal number 2. You'll have seen, ended up getting a coffee at Nero. Mike's over here, hopefully that sounds alright. Coffee at Nero, pop cup from Milo. Fucking brilliant stuff. Lovely Sunday morning, so 11:35, so 2 hours 58 minutes has passed since my last meal, but we are into meal number 2. Probably the best, it's up there with the best meals on a rest day. But in this mug we have 66 grams of mango, 100 grams of veggies. Reason being, I do not care for having 2 mugs to separate my fruit and veg that I have with this meal. It's not affecting the taste of either of them, so I'm just going to do it. 66 grams of mango, just to match the 10 carb that I would normally get through pineapple. Just fancy mango. Mango's in the fridge. Why not? You know, it's fruit. You can. This is what people don't understand. You don't have to be. Every single fruit and veg source doesn't have to be the exact same. Vary it. You know, if you listen to the faffing over frequency episode on nutrient quality and stuff, I'm a big advocate for a varied diet. I think that's best for gut health. I was actually talking about that with meal 1 with the berries. I swap in fruits and veg constantly, but we'll get into the bulk of this meal. Beforehand, I have took 2 caps of Turbo Mag, so magnesium product. You know, I double dose across the day, 2 servings with post cardio or post workout, depending if it's a training day or non-training day, and then pre-bed with my final meal. So this meal, the heart of it is 175 sourdough with 3 eggs. Went for scrambled eggs today. A little bit of spinach. 50 smoked salmon. Now, the sourdough is just a little Marks and Spencer's one, so I've made the executive decision to scramble the eggs rather than frying them, because you know I'm going to get more coverage, and you know, with a fried egg, I'm not fitting the entire thing on these tiny little bits of sourdough. Then we have it topped with some Italian herb seasoning, so like a mix of oregano and stuff that always goes nicely with eggs. This eggs and salmon meal, and then salt and pepper, and then a little bit of ketchup on top of each piece. Now I went light on the ketchup because I'm all out of the 0 sugar stuff, and we don't want to be getting too many calories from sauces. So full sugar stuff, I'm literally just doing a little jizz worth on each piece. But I'm gonna get into this meal so I don't fall behind meals. I want to be in bed for like 8:30, 8:45 tonight for a 5 a.m. start tomorrow, so it's important I don't fall behind. So yeah guys, meal number 2 going down. Guys, meal number 3 time. So since meal 1, basically I didn't really give you an update outside of the day. At meal 2, I have boxed off some client work, had to update some meal plans, fired over a few inquiry responses, which is quite cool to see. Some guys over in the States inquiring, so yeah, that's awesome to see. Branching out into different countries with the coaching game. Quick plug, if you do want to inquire for coaching, I will drop the link in the description. Go over there, fill out the inquiry form, drop me a message on Instagram also if you want, but either way I will get in touch if I've seen you filled out the form. But it is meal 3 time. We have this is the infamous meal. I'll try to take off face track. Active track the meal. Yes, there we go. This is the infamous meal. This is the one I get the most questions about. Look at that beautifulness, beautiful bowl, bamboo wood, I believe, IKEA job. But yeah, we have 100 grams raw weight rice, 100 grams banana, 15 grams coconut almond butter. I love that almond butter so much. 150 grams raw weight chicken, 50 grams of beetroot, and 50 grams of mixed veggies with 2.5 grams of salt again, and cinnamon, I believe. I think it was 2.5 grams of salt. But yeah, this meal is so good. It's better on a training day because I get 50 grams of dates and a little drizzle of honey, 5 grams of honey on that day. But you know, rest days equally as good. It's equally as accepted. A few things on this meal that I wanna touch upon. Oh yes, I forgot to say supplementation with this meal as well. We hit it up with 1 cap of Glycotank. So this is the highest carb meal of the day so far. It's just slightly more than my sourdough meal, I believe, but the fact that there's so many fats and fibres in that sourdough meal, from 3 eggs, 50 smoked salmon and bread, veg, fruit. I don't take a glucose disposal agent with that meal because it's not going to be spiking blood glucose or blood sugars that much with all the fat and fibre. But the likes of this meal with a bit less fat, a bit less fibre, I do put the GDA in, so I'm utilising it quite well on a rest day. So 1 cap of GDA with this meal and 1 cap with my final meal on a rest day. That is how I do it. Something I could touch upon is the seasoning of the chicken. Just paprika for me, or some other times it's cumin. It repeats on me quite bad though, so I rarely use it now, even though I love it. An Italian herb seasoning, love that in my chicken, but mainly paprika I go with, because no digestive issues, no additives, just straight paprika. If you're sitting adding, pre-made seasonings like your chicken seasoning, your peri seasonings, your aromat. There's one over here called aromat that, while these ones are amazing, super tasty, they have calories, they have sodium, they have lots of additives and artificial shit in them that's going to cause digestive issues. So if you're feeling a little bit just bunged up after your meals, maybe look at your seasoning choices. And it's also another thing where you're adding in calories where it's not necessary and where it's not tracked, especially if you're not weighing your seasoning and stuff. While it's such little calories, I also think, what's the point of adding that in? I would much prefer just use a 0 calorie whole ingredient, single ingredient sort of seasoning for your chicken, so you're not altering your sodium balance either. And that could be especially important in a diet setting, maybe depths of a prep, where sodium can have an effect on the visuals, unlike me currently, where I'm getting a little bit softer, and the look, it doesn't change that fast when it comes to sodium and carbohydrate intake. So gonna get this into me. Maybe a thumbnail might be good here. Quality. Watch a little bit of Bro Chat. We're about to stick on the YouTube, and yeah, talk to you guys at meal number 4. So we are in the bomb site that currently is the kitchen. Osmo needs to track my face. Yep, so as you can see, if I step back, absolute mess this kitchen is. But meal number 4 is going down, and it is the prawns, rice and pineapple concoction. Now I want to give you guys a good view of these prawns, because between meals 3 and 4 I have been to Marks and Spencer's, and look at those prawns, man. There's a reason they cost $6.50 for 200 grams, one meal. $6.50 worth of prawns in one meal. The smartest financial decision I've ever made? Probably not. Am I going to enjoy it? Hell yeah. So ingredients of this meal: 100 grams of raw weight rice, 100 grams of pineapple, 100 grams of veg. We've got cherry tomatoes, some mixed veg. Yeah, that's about it. I said 200 gram prawns. Yes, pineapple, rice, veg, and 8 grams of macadamia nut oil on this bad boy. So that is the contents of this meal. I'm very much looking forward to it. We've got King Honduras prawns and chili and paprika prawns. So I'm hoping they go. Oh, there's a bit of beetroot in there as well. Forgot about that. And then salt, black pepper, just the norm. But guys, I'm looking forward to getting this one in. Hopefully the $6.50 is warranted for the prawns. I'm going to mix it all together, get that mac nut oil incorporated into every bite, and yeah, it's just going to be like a big sloppy mess, but it's going to be like a posh sloppy mess, because it's M&S prawns and not just frozen ones that I've defrosted. So catch you guys again at meal number 5, the fun one. We're back to the sweet. So sweet meal 1, savoury meals 2, 3, 4, and then back to the sweetness for meal 5 for a big bowl of oats pre-bed. Yes guys, there is a small chance that this is on a Tuesday evening at 6:59 p.m. and the other 4 meals were on a Sunday. Yeah, basically forgot to film my oats, but luckily, even though it's push day, this final meal doesn't actually change. So in this bowl, the sweet treat end of the night, what a way to wrap up your evening. We have 70 grams of oats. I keep the oats very low, the quantity of oats very low, just to help with digestion. Once I start pushing 100 grams of oats in a meal, that's when I can't really stomach it. So we've got 70 grams of oats, 100 grams of berries, 125 grams of apple, 30 grams of dates, 55 grams of whey. There actually is a difference. Apologies. On a rest day, I have 45 grams of whey, and on a training day, I have 55 grams. Apologies. Rest day, full day of eating, not complete. But then, underneath everything, all that action, we have 10 grams of Montezuma dark chocolate as well, and of course, we have some salt mixed into the oats and cinnamon, nutmeg over the top of the fruit before the whey paste is added. Today we have went with salted caramel, Naughty Boy whey. Extremely good flavour. But yeah guys, since it is 2 days later, gonna wrap up the video there. Dig into this bowl. I've got a leg day tomorrow. A very good push session today. Had a cream of rice delivery, so in my next few full days of eating or next few YouTube videos, you will see bowls of cream of rice rather than ground rice for my post-workout meal. Might even add it to my final meal instead of oats, because I had a bowl today of cream of rice, triple chocolate trained by JP, with macadamia nut oil mixed in as the fat source for that meal, and it was top notch. The texture is just unbelievable with the oil mixed in. Gonna try coconut oil next as well. So the 3 flavours I got were triple chocolate, lemon meringue and maple syrup, all trained by JP. So you can look forward to seeing those in future full days of eating and getting a review. But as of now, triple chocolate was very good cream of rice. But guys, gonna leave the video here. Grow bag 17, I believe, could be. If I pull that off the top of my head, I've done pretty damn well. So I'll leave the video here. As always, if you have watched it, please like, subscribe, share, story tags, much appreciated. Drop a comment blueberries if you made it this far. And guys, I will talk to you in the next episode.